We got a couple different ways to be able to live this life. And I think that most of us experience both in some ways and depending on circumstances. The most powerful thing that I learned is that our circumstances don't dictate how we experience life. And they used to. Don't get me wrong. I mean, bankruptcies and things like that I've had, 3 divorces, my 4th marriage now, it was always her fault. Until I realized it was never her fault. It was never any of their fault. And anybody that's ever hurt you or did anything to you, it's not their fault either for how you feel, right? Like what they did, I'm sure was wrong. I'm sure that it was, something that that caused pain. But the pain, this is the secret to life. The pain doesn't dictate you or how you experience life. When you understand that you have the power to decide whether you're going to let that pain dictate your life and that relationship and how you see other people and, what you think about everything, whether you are a victim or a servant, is your decision. I was listening to something the other day, and it was a TV show, and the little girl had said, "What's the meaning of life?" The guy was like, "I have no idea." It was an older guy to her, and he was like, "I have no idea," and she's like, "Oh, it's for our hearts to meet other hearts and connect with other hearts in this world. That's what the meaning of life is." It's wild because Jesus had said to us, "I leave you with one commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor, other people, as yourself." There's so much that we don't learn and understand in just the education that we go through and the experiences that we have, the people that we listen to. There's churches out there that are saying that if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to burn in hell for eternity, forever. You're going to be in fire because you made a decision on this earth to not listen and believe in Jesus. And then there's others that say, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, just believe in God and all things are forgiven and you're good and you're in heaven forever once you die. The thing that's really interesting and the thing that has resonated with me this year more than anything is that Jesus said, "Follow me, first of all, obey my commandments, follow me." What are the commandments? Love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. And he also said, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's present tense right now, right? He didn't say, one day you'll have it. One day you'll experience heaven. But here on earth is going to be trials and tribulations. He did say that. However, he said the kingdom of heaven is at hand, which means it's available right now. What's the kingdom of heaven, right? It's love, joy, peace. And it's how you're experiencing life today. The word says now faith is. Now is the time. It's the only time that we have is now. Jesus said, don't worry about tomorrow. And tomorrow will worry about itself. There's enough things to worry about. If God will take care of the lilies of the field and the birds of the air, how much more will he take care of you? Well, that really is it, right? If you're mad at your spouse, your partner, your friend, a relative, whatever that is, and you're holding on to anger, you're holding on to unforgiveness towards them. My pastor used to say something that I thought was one of the most powerful things I ever heard in my life. That unforgiveness is like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. It's powerful in that, right? Not You know, unforgiveness is like touching a burner and, you know, burning your hand and you're like, ouch, you know, and it's and thinking it's somebody else's hand. No, no, no. Drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. Who the freaking heck would do that? I've done it, right? Like, I've certainly done it where I cut somebody off. Matter of fact, I used to say that, especially to girls that were in my life, that, hey, be careful. You know, if you get to that point and I just cut you off, I become like ice. You know what I mean? And I won't forgive you. And that'll be it. And I'm gone. And that happened many times, actually. And that hurt me, right? Like it affected me in my next relationship because I saw those same things that happened. I saw that attitude that I had that same day. I felt the same exact feeling of like anxiety, of disappointment, of fear, right? Fear is the basis of it all. I felt that same fear that this is over. We're done. It's not going to work out again. I need to run again, right? And this person hurt me, so it's their fault. I need to leave. Freedom is in knowing it's not their fault. It's yours. It's mine, right? It's mine. If I get mad at you for something that you did to me, it's my fault for how I act. Did you do something that hurt me? Sure, you could have. You know, I get it. You're just like me. You're flawed. You know what I mean? You're trying to walk through this life, listening to the thoughts in your head, the emotions that you've had, the circumstances and events that have gone on in your life are the same reason that you did what you did to me, right? That's the way it works. You've done it to other people. I've done it to other people. Oh my God, have I done it to other people? Where I took from them to keep me from not feeling that fear, right? Like I took that from them because I didn't want to be alone, because I didn't want to feel like that anymore. It wasn't their fault, and it's not their fault for you either. It does not matter what somebody did to you. How you feel about it today isn't their fault. It's your responsibility. You don't have to forgive them. Don't get me wrong. Just understand the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Is a choice today, all day long, of how you decide to live your life. What are you going to do? Are you going to experience love? Are you going to experience forgiveness? Or are you going to live in anger, disappointment, grudge, judgment? Right? Like that person, oh, they hurt me. I can't forgive that. What they did, I can't forgive. Look, the truth is, forgiveness really isn't about them. I'm not saying that you have to go to them and say, I forgive you. I'm so sorry. Is there healing in that? Oh my God, yes. Yes, so much healing in that. But it's your decision. It's your state of being to forgive. It doesn't really matter if you tell them or not. It's up to you. If you truly do forgive them and you could go to them and say, hey, look, I just want you to know I'm sorry for what happened. You know, God said, Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. If you're holding unforgiveness to somebody, expecting another person to die, you're hurting yourself, right? You're not loving yourself by being able to go through that part and say, I forgive you. I forgive you. You don't have to be best friends with them again. You just have to make sure that when those thoughts come up, and they will, that you can say, oh, no, I forgive them. They made a mistake. It's okay. Don't hold them to a different category and standard of yourself. You've done it. You've lied, cheated, hurt somebody. You know what I mean? You've done it. We've all done it. We're people. This is how we experience life, right? Some people are quicker, though, to say, I'm sorry. I can't believe I did that. You know, I was at your house and I took a shirt that I wanted. I took whatever, you know what I mean? I did this or that. It doesn't really matter what it is. And like the word says, there's no partiality in sin. Don't hold people to a different standard of what you've done. Because all it does is lock you in to today unforgiveness. You can't have love, joy, peace with any unforgiveness in your heart at all. You can experience a joy day. You can have fun today. You can have peace because the kids aren't yelling and you're just like, oh, wow, there's peace in this house. It's peace in your heart, not the surrounding that's going on around you. If you look at what they're trying to steal from us in this world right now, the people that do know, is your love, joy, peace. You know, one of the things that the word says also is that the joy of the Lord is your strength. Well, if the joy of the Lord is your strength, what would the enemy be trying to take from you? Your joy, right? Like, how can I get you upset? How can I make you feeling like poor me or a victim? If you can wrap your mind around anything that I'm saying, and you can actually believe that what I'm saying, there's some truth to it, right? Like, the victim mentality is, you hurt me and people are out to get me, and I've been burned before. Well, that's a victim, right? I've said, oh my God. Sometimes when I'm talking like this, I hear it so vividly. I've done that, right? I still have to catch myself and be like, no, it's all good, man. I forgive them. You know, I've been burned. I have. It's okay. I'm not holding anything against them anymore. And the freedom that I can have from that at any time. And here's the thing. You can experience the kingdom of heaven now as soon as you recognize it, as soon as you're aware that you're not in the kingdom of heaven. And you're not in the kingdom of heaven when you have anger, judgment, right? Jealousy, fear. Fear gets you out of the kingdom of heaven. Think of it this way. Fear, and this is another great thing that my pastor had said to me, that there is an indicator light, right? Think of it this way, that fear is an indicator light that I'm not in the kingdom anymore. As soon as you start to have thoughts of, the thing is that we got to recognize what's fear. Fear is anger. What are you angry about? Why are you angry? Because you're afraid of something. You're afraid of that feeling that you got. Betrayal, right? Of, I can't trust anybody. You know, people are out to get me, or they're out to get me. Whatever that is, it's a self-containment, right? Self-preservation for you, that you're like, no. I'm not going to let anybody burn me, man. Nobody's going to make me feel like that again. So you're angry, right? When that happens, you get angry. It's okay to be angry. That was another thing that Jesus said. Be angry, but don't sin, right? You can be angry and let the anger understand it. Don't react to it. When you get angry, just say, I know this feeling. Why am I angry? Because that person did this to me. Hold on. Why am I angry? Because that makes me feel like I was a fool, that I got taken advantage of again, right? What do they say? Once bitten, twice shy, or fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, or fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Because you forgave and you let somebody do it again. We can't let that happen, right? You're not a fool. You're not stupid. You're not. What the truth is, that anger is a root to something else. It's a root to a feeling that you don't want to experience anymore. And that person that did it, they're struggling with their life too. Don't think that they're not. If they did something to hurt you and they don't come to you and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, then they're in a different state. That they either don't recognize that because they're just too far gone in their own self, right? Love your neighbor as yourself is putting your eyes on people first, right? But loving yourself in the meantime. You are important. You are connected to God. You are your own person experiencing your own life. But, and this is the truth, you have to become aware of the basics. Yeah, I remember Tony Robbins had said, like, repetition is the mother of all skill. You've got to understand how things work. I was listening to a mentor of mine who was talking about jujitsu, and how he was learning jujitsu. And in the process of learning jujitsu, he learned the two basic principles. So he was going up against a guy that was 30 pounds less than him, but he could submit him like that because he knew the principles. Well, then the teacher had told him and said, hey, you need to understand the principles are that you need to delete space. So in jiu-jitsu, the whole thing is that you want to be as close as possible to somebody and then you can submit them, right? And then the other thing is that you expose a limb. He said you have to keep your arms close to yourself, because if they get stretched out, then somebody can grab it and snap it, you know what I mean, and submit you. There's principles to everything. The principles to this is to understand that I've not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. God said that to us. I've not given you a spirit of fear. Well, then that means that's a thing out there, right? And everything's connected. It's the law of polarity. You've got fear down here that's drawing you down, and love that draws you up. That's all there is. Love, fear. So all the things that are surrounded in fear are the ones that'll be able to keep you down. They're trying to pull you away from love. So it's like a polarity, right? It's always pulling like this. Love, joy, peace is up here, where you feel great, amazing. And fear, anger, jealousy, frustration, poor me, victimhood is down here, keeping you in a place where it's everybody else's fault but yours. Because you're perfect, so you didn't do anything wrong. You couldn't have done anything wrong. Look, I'm not saying you did anything wrong for the experiences that have happened to you. I'm saying that the way that you experience them is affecting your life today. Today, right? So today, you can listen and you can hear this right now and you can say no more and start to build on that, because it won't just change today. But today you can become aware of that and say, wow, that makes sense. It makes sense that there's a polarity, right? It's been good and evil. It's not, though. It's actually love and fear. And that's the polarity, love and fear. And fear will always be to be able to have self-preservation for you, right? There's spirit and ego, or spirit and flesh, if you will. Flesh, ego, is you protecting yourself. It's you about you. It's taking and keeping. How we experience life. We've got to take and keep. Or the other part of this is giving and receiving. You can't be a victim and a servant at the same time. In the same day you can. In the same minute you can. Because it's a state of mind. But you have to recognize when you're being a victim, when you're taking and keeping. Taking and keeping is dangerous. And we all fall trap to it all the time. Until we recognize, oh, wait a second. I don't want that anymore. That's not what God gave me. He did not give me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Think about the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. Do you react to that on everything? I'm working on it. I don't. Patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness. That's just how we talk to people, how we treat people, what we think. And self-control. Self-control. That means we're responsible for what we say, what we do, what we know, what we understand, and how we live our life. So if you're mad at somebody for something that they did to you, understand that's holding you as a victim in fear still. It's still drawing you in. If you haven't forgiven them, if you get negative feelings towards them, if you see them and you're like, oh, screw that person. They're such a loser. They suck. That isn't helping you. It isn't helping them either. That's another day. We can go there another day. Today, this is about you breaking free and understanding that the indicator light is whenever you feel anger, whenever you feel fear, whenever you feel that position that you have to take to hold on a second, you're not going to make me feel like this. You have to recognize that's stealing from you. That's taking and keeping your love, joy, and peace. That's always yours. It's always available. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's a choice today, right now. You don't have to wait till you die. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's how you experience your life today. That's what Jesus was telling us. Today, right now, you can have the kingdom. The kingdom is love, joy, peace. It is forgiveness, right? Write that down. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It is your life. You get to experience however you want to. I just wanted to share. I'm not here to tell you that I got it all figured out, that I'm the greatest guy in the world. I'm not. I'm just another guy that's learning and becoming aware that it's a good world. It's a great life. You know, God created this planet in abundance. Abundance is all around us. It's what we see all the time. Think of the air that we breathe. I do that all the time, just to remember right now. I am aware of who I am. Right now, the sustainability of God is in the breath that you breathe every single second of your life. Without that breath, you'll die in a few minutes. If that doesn't let you know that there's an abundant God who loves you, that's given you all the resources that you need to be able to have a great life in worshiping him, love the Lord your God first, foremost, everything, every choice you make. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might. Every decision you make is based off, am I loving God? Because think about this. If you're mad at somebody, especially if it's your spouse or your partner or, whoever's in your life, you're mad at them right now. Don't you think that's God's fault? Isn't he supposed to be taking care of you? If you believe in God, how could he let somebody hurt you? He didn't, right? We have to let that go and love God anyways and believe that God's going to take care of it. God does amazing things, miracles all the time. But we got to give him the space, right? And understand that we are part of that miracle. And it's by the decisions that we have. It's by the choices that we make today. You can do this. If you have any questions about this at all, please let me know. Again, I'm not the guru. I don't know everything. I'm learning. I'm taking pieces. I read the Bible. I understand and know who Jesus is. I know who God is. And it's a daily practice. And trust me when I say there are so many days that I find myself caught up in a distraction. They're getting fewer and further between of how long it lasts. But it still happens, and it will happen. Until we always give it to God. Until we make that decision that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and I want it. I want it. This is the purpose of life. Love God, love people. It's pretty simple. You don't have to get all caught up in all the other stuff. If somebody wronged you, if they said something that hurt your feelings, their feelings have been hurt probably too. Their definitely feelings have been hurt at some point. of why they lashed out, of why they said what they said. They're trying to experience and hold on to their own self right now. That's why they said that to you. Let it go. It truly isn't affecting you unless you allow it to. You know, we think that if we forgive somebody that we're giving them the right to hurt us. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's the biggest freaking lie. You're not letting them just hurt you by forgiving them. God will take care of you regardless. Love them anyways. Go serve them. See what happens. Somebody that's hurt you, again, don't get me wrong. If it's some crazy thing that hurt you way back in the day, don't worry about it. Let it go anyways. I'm talking about just the people right now. Come on, man. The people in your life. The friend that you had, that you loved, that you guys were great friends, and then something happened and you're like, well, they suck. Can't trust anybody. Everybody's trying to get me. No, they're not. They're just trying to live their own life. And they're confused. That's why they acted the way they did. When you meet somebody who does walk in love, they don't do that. They won't do that. It's more important to love God and love people than hold grudges, judgment, condemnation towards somebody else. It's more important to love God first and love people, serve people. Be a servant. Go out and do something great for that person that hurt you. If it's your spouse, oh my God, that's a perfect time. Go do something great for them. Go tell them that you're sorry. It doesn't matter what they did. If you're still with them, then tell them that you're sorry. Tell them that you forgive them. Tell them that you want to make it work. Forgive and live. God bless.